If you've heard about the terms causal impact, counterfactuals, and fundamental problem of causal inference, but have always wanted to understand them better, then you've come at the right place, as in this video, we will be going over these concepts and understanding them with a very simple example. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sagar. I've just completed my PhD in economics from Brown University, and in this video we will try to understand the things like causal impact, fundamental problem of causal inference, and the idea of counterfactuals with a simple example. So let's get started. What is causal impact? Causal impact of a program is the difference between how people fared with the program as compared to how they would have performed had they not participated in the program. This hypothetical scenario is what's called the counterfactual. And we just do not observe the counterfactual, we can only try to infer the counterfactual. And this is what's called the fundamental problem of causal inference. That is, you would ideally want to compare the same person with the program and the same person without the program, but you just do not observe the same person with and without the program. If this all sounds confusing, we would go over a very simple example and then you will be able to understand these terms much better. Let's take this simple example where we want to understand the impact of a program through which we provide free school uniform to some students, and we want to understand the impact of this program on their learning. Just to give some background about this program of providing free school uniforms to students, let's say that we're working in an area where there are no formal requirements to wear a uniform in school, but there's a lot of social pressure around it. Many students say that they feel embarrassed if they go to school without the school uniform, and through this their attendance is very low in school because they feel embarrassed a lot in this area. So we think of this program that what if we provide free school uniform to some of these students, and we want to see whether this actually improves their attendance and this also actually improves their learning. So this is our program, and as a part of this program, let's say we provide free school uniform to 100 students. We are interested in how this school uniform affects their test scores. So we observe their test scores now in language and mathematics, and we observe their test scores 2 years after we provide the school uniform to them. And we are interested in understanding how providing the school uniform affected their learning. This is where counterfactual thinking comes in. To estimate the impact of this program, we already have their test scores after we have provided the school uniform to them. We have their test scores 2 years later. Now, to estimate the impact, we would like to compare it to the outcome of students that would have been had we not provided this school uniform to them. So let me repeat. We want to compare this outcome to the outcome that would have been had we not provided school uniform to them, because that would give us the causal impact of this program. But by definition, since we have provided this uniform to them, we cannot go back and now observe them 2 years later without providing the school uniform. And this is the fundamental problem of causal inference, that we cannot observe the same person with and without the program. So we only have to infer what the impact or what the level of their outcome would have been had we not provided this program to these students. This is where the students who did not get school uniform come in, and we have to make lots of assumptions about this comparison, and the validity of this causal impact depends on the validity of the assumptions that we make. Now let's see how we would go forward with understanding the impact of this program. One clear way is that we have this test scores of students, the same students 2 years before they had this uniform and 2 years after they had this uniform. Now, one simple way would be that, okay, let's just compare their performance now to what it was 2 years ago, and this should tell us something about the impact of this program. But what is the problem with this? One is that as the students are growing over time, they are just learning more things from their day-to-day experiences, so their performance could have just gone up regardless of whether you provide them uniform or not. Another thing is that maybe there was some other program that the state government came up with. Maybe that they were providing them free meals in school, so they were attending schools more regularly, and this way you don't necessarily learn about the impact of this uniform program. As you can imagine, many other things could have also changed in these 2 years, so it becomes very tricky to just do a before-after comparison and estimate the impact of this program from a before-after comparison, especially when you're looking at a time duration of 2 years where a lot of things can happen. Now you may say that instead of comparing before and after, we also have these other students who did not get any such uniform. Now we can compare their outcomes 2 years later to the outcome of our treated students or the students who got the free school uniform. Now, what is the problem with that? Let's suppose that there were only 100 students whom we could provide uniforms to, and we asked the parents to sign up for it. And the parents who were quick to sign up, we could only provide the uniforms to them. Now, there can be this problem that the parents who are signing up for this program are likely to be more motivated about the education of their children. So it's that they are providing free uniform. I mean, we are providing free uniform to them through this program, but maybe these parents are also doing other things to improve the quality of their education. So if we actually do find that these students who got the free school uniform are doing better than the students who did not get the school uniform, it could be the impact of school uniform, but it could also be that because their parents are so motivated about their learning, they are putting extra effort, they're more engaged in the education of their children, and that's why we see a higher impact or a higher learning for these students. Now, this could go other way too. So since we are providing free school uniform, maybe it's the poorest of students in the classroom that we are providing free school uniforms to, because the richer students do not need free school uniform. So it's likely that these students who come from the poorest of background also face other issues in attending school. So even after 2 years of providing free school uniform, it's possible that these students still have lower attendance as compared to other students who did not get any free school uniform. But does this mean that the program did not work? Maybe or maybe not. Maybe their attendance actually went up, but just that it was not enough to catch up with the students who were actually from a richer background. This tendency that the two groups that we are comparing are very different from each other is what's called the selection effect. Selection effect or selection bias can arise when people self-select into a program, or when the program is designed in such a way that only people with particular characteristics end up joining the program. In our example, selection effect plays a part because the students who may sign up for a free school uniform may be very different from the students who do not sign up for any such program. And in this case, we cannot just compare students who received the free school uniform to those who did not receive the free school uniform, because we might be attributing the selection effect to the program effect. And by this comparison, we may end up reporting a number which is very, very far from the actual impact of the program, and which could lead to poor policy making as well. So hopefully you now have a better understanding about this concept, and in the next video we will be learning about randomization and how that can actually help us in understanding the impact of some program. That's all for this video. Hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.